Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassandra, and in today's video I'm going to be speaking about things that I've learned on my journey as an entrepreneur, and I'll also be sharing a bit of advice and hopefully dropping one or two gems as well. So firstly, what I want to do, I want to introduce you to my brand, tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll talk about things that I've learned in my journey. So firstly, the brand's called Cass's Creative, and it started by me writing a book. It's called Success to the Wrong Queen, and it's the first book in a 3-part series. Initially, I published this book because my father encouraged me to, as I've always been writing as a kid, but he said instead of just doing it as a hobby, why not publish it and see how that goes. So from there I published Success with the Wrong Queen, then part 2, which is Success with the Right Queen, and then the finale, which is called Success with My Wife to Be. So from there, what I did was I sold bookmarks. I don't have any next to me right now, but then I also started selling notebooks, and in America they call it journals. So what I did was I took the character off the book cover, and I put it onto a cover, and I put some affirmations on there. Now, if you don't know what affirmations are, they're basically just positive phrases and things that you can say to yourself to feel more positive and feel better about yourself as well. So what I did was I put it on a notebook and started selling those. I also sell keychains. So this one is a star sign one, Virgo one there. I'm not a Virgo, just the first one I picked up. And then I also sell other keychains, sometimes matching to either the notebooks or the mugs. So yeah, that's what I do. So the first thing I like to mention when it comes to things that I've learned is that business is not easy. It's not a walk in the park. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of money as well. So especially when you're a first-time business owner or author, you're basically announcing what it is that you sell to the world, and sometimes people just buy off you because it's you and they love who you are, or they just get a sense of urgency to buy off you. But in some cases there are going to be times where customers need a lot more encouragement to buy what it is that you're selling, and they do say that on average it takes customers 7 times of seeing the product that you sell before they commit to actually purchasing it. So that means that you have to keep promoting your business like crazy. So imagine if you posted today and then you don't post until 2 weeks time or a month's time, and in that time it's most likely that they've seen what you've sold, and sometimes they might not as well remember. So if it means that they've seen it, and then most likely it could be forgotten because you haven't posted it often enough. So consistency is really key when it comes to selling, and be able to build up trust for the consumer to buy whatever it is that you're selling. So when it comes to me, I launched my website in December 2019. So you know, I had my books, I have my mugs, I have my I didn't sell keychains at the time, or the mugs, sorry. So I just had the books, and I offered a few design services. So I launched it, I was promoting it around like crazy. I was like, this is my website, this is what I sell, you know, just posting around, hoping that eventually someone will purchase off me. And it took a month to get my first sale, and in between from launching to promoting and that first sale, there were so many times when I felt like quitting, I felt like shutting down the website, you know, and just just leaving it. But you know, I'm so glad that I continued. Another thing that I learned as well is that it's really important not to compare yourself or your journey to someone else's. It's really, really, really important to know that your journey is yours, and how it happened to someone else, it might not happen to you. So for example, you know, I've read lots of books about people becoming successful. You know, I see all the entrepreneurs on Instagram, social media, and you know, their businesses are just booming, you know. So they've got the picture of them with all their products that they're about to take to the post office and ship out. So you know, it made me think at the time that as soon as I you know, become an entrepreneur, sales are just going to be skyrocketing and that. But it's really important to know that things will happen when it's meant to. I personally believe that, and it's also important to remember that people's circumstances are different to yours as well. So for example, one entrepreneur could have been born into money, so they obviously already have a bigger head start. It could be another entrepreneur that has family and friends that are already successful, so they've already got, you know, that extra backing. So another thing that I've learned as well is I have mentioned already that promoting is really, really important, but it's also, and it sounds so like, it sounds like common sense now, but at the time it was something that I learned. marketing is really important, and it matters where you are promoting. So for example, you don't want to be promoting your candle line to people that don't like candles. You know what I'm saying? So for example, what happened with me is I follow this comedian. He's an influencer, really funny, and you know, he has a large following and it's local as well. So I was like, oh, if I can get my products in front of all these like hundreds of thousands of followers, then I can get sales. So that's immediately what I was thinking. So imagine he's a comedian and I've come to him and I've said, can you promote this? Can I pay you to promote this? She said it was £50. Now I believe that that was a great price, especially for the large following that he has. So, you know, didn't even think about it twice. I just said, okay, give me bank account details, and I paid him. So he did exactly what he was meant to do. He uploaded my book onto his story. I had no sales whatsoever, and you know, at the time, because what I like to do, and I'm sure everyone does, I like to review, reflect. So you know, when something goes good, I like to say, okay, what did I do, what can I do better? When something goes bad, I'm like, we're not going to do the same thing again, so what is it that I need to do differently? So now doing that has definitely taught me that you need to be in the right place. So if you want to pay that money, you don't want to waste it anyway. So yeah, people have seen it, but they didn't buy it. I remember consistency as well. So even after him promoting it, you know, we did actually speak about it. You know, I was like, oh, I didn't get any sales, and because you know, he gave me great advice about consistency, but that'd have been like £50, and then if you're doing it 7 times, that's a lot of money, and then especially if it's in the wrong. It's in the wrong front of the wrong people, which is is bad as well. But so for example, if I wanted to have like great success from getting someone to publish, someone to promote my book, I'd have been better to go to a book influencer, someone that reads fiction, or someone that reads romance, you know, pay them whether it's the same amount of money, and I most likely would have got a better result. So it's really important to be promoting in front of getting your products in front of the right people. Another thing that I've learned, and this one's a little bit of a sad one, but it's the reality. I've learned that not everyone will support you, and that does sometimes mean the people that you've known the longest, sometimes if they're blood, like family and friends, sometimes they won't support you, and yes, it's going to be disheartening, but do not focus on that for too long. You know, you don't want to be upset. You need to keep your mind positive, you know, trying to think on that too much. And then, you know, you have on the other hand, you have people, family and friends that are super duper supportive. So whenever you put a post, they'll click that share, you know, they'll save the picture that you've uploaded, they'll put it on their story, they'll tag you, you know, there's people like that. And then also as well, there are strangers that, you know, you've never met in your life or you've only spoken once or twice, or you know, you've communicated online, and you know, they're more supportive than people that you know personally. So you know, that's just something that is possible and that can happen. And you know, after speaking with a lot of authors and entrepreneurs, they've also said the same thing as well. So it's actually quite common, and if you're one of the lucky ones that every single person that you know is super supportive, that is amazing as well. So actually count that as a blessing. Another thing that I've learned as well is that it's for me, I personally believe that it's really good to start small. This is really embarrassing. It still hurts my soul when I speak about it, because you know, it just seems so stupid. I did mention that I wrote my first book, Success of the Wrong Queen, but it was not to this standard before. You know, I was really excited, you know, so I ended up rushing my book, and I bought a big batch of books, you know. Oh man, I bought a big batch of books, you know, and then looking at the quality, there was grammar mistakes, there was, it was just a hot mess. So you know what I had to do? I had to go to the tip and I had to just throw them all away. So that was basically money going down the drain. So, you know, you can start with a big bulk, but just make sure that the quality, you will most likely won't be selling books, but just ask yourself, do I want to have so much stock, especially when I'm first starting? Now, I personally believe with these notebooks, I only ordered a small batch because, you know, as beautiful as they are, you know, you still have a bit of doubt in your mind. So you're like, okay, they might not sell. So if they don't sell, you know, at least I've got a small batch and I haven't wasted my money. Thankfully, oh God, thankfully these are doing really well, so that's a really good thing. But you know, you don't want to be stuck and sitting on stock, or have to do what I did and throw away stock. And also we did learn at uni as well, that he gave us an example of a warehouse. Obviously they store so much in there, but what happened was, I don't remember if it was something knocking over or if it was a fire, but basically they had so much stock in that one place, and then it all basically the all ended up breaking. So that's money that they've lost, you know. So if you want to start small, that's a great thing to do. I'd advise it, but if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But just make sure however you store it, that it's stored so it's safe. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Just be extra careful. It's always good to be cautious. Or you could do drop shipping. That's what I love to do. I sell some t-shirts. I'll put a picture somewhere. But you know, I don't actually personally print them. It's my design. I found a printing company, so what I do is when a customer orders off my website, I then give him the money that he needs to print the shirt and actually ship it. So that means that I don't have to have the stock in my home. I don't have to fork out a lot of money for a printing machine, and you know, it's just easier for me. And one thing that I've learned as well, there's a book called Life Leverage. I'll leave the link in the description, but one thing that I got from that book is it's best not to do everything. And you know, especially when you're just starting out, I understand, because I've personally been there when money is not, you know, you don't have a lot of it. So, you know, you want to save money by not hiring someone to do this, or, you know, you want to keep your money as tight as possible and keep it to you so you can do more with it. But trust me, it's a lot better when you can like leverage a few things. So another thing that I like to speak about, and this is very embarrassing, you know, it's something once again that I regret, and I wish if I could go back in time I would do differently, but you know, I can't. And I have to just take it as a lesson. And you know, I'm doing this video so hopefully you don't do it too, but you have more sense than me. I honestly think, or at the time I thought, you know, I was really organized, because you know, it's not even now, you know, I keep my notepad, I have write down my notes, I've got notes here, little bullet points of things to speak about, so I don't blabber on. I might have already done that and I apologize if I do. But you know, what happened was, another service I offer, I help first time or aspiring authors write and publish their first book. So you know, a few people have seen that I do that, and you know, one coach reached out to me in my email and she was like, hello, I see that you help people. I've got a client that, you know, has been in an unfortunate situation, and you know, she's been in the news because of it, and you know, she's looking to write a book, and I'm hoping that we can, you know, meet, and we can see if you're a perfect fit for her, and then you know, if anything, then you can help her write her book. So I'm thinking, oh my days, it's going to be amazing for my career, this would be great. And you know, I have a lot of customers and clients from the United States. I'll say most of it, I'll say 80% of it is from, you know, the US. So this was great as well, you know, the time difference, oh, it's just amazing, you know. But yeah, so we scheduled a date and time, and then when it came to the meeting, I was a no-show. Oh my god, I really was a no-show. And do you know what happened at the time? No one was selling keychains, and you know, God, the universe, whoever you believe in, gave me the idea to start selling keychains. So these keychains here, I made a few designs. It wasn't one of these first, I think it was just the Black Lives Matter ones that I sell. I'll put a picture somewhere. And so I launched it and everyone loved it. So and remember what I said before about starting small, so literally I just bought a small batch of keychains and they sold out fast. So I was like, I called my partner and I was like, we need to go get some more. So you know, I rushed down there, bought a whole new, like bought a few more, and then in the queue, because it was during the lockdown, so in the queue I got an email and I was like, okay, you know, because you know, I just like to read my emails straight away. But yeah, so I opened it and then she was like, hi, you didn't show. And I was like, oh my gosh. So you know, super apologetic, really embarrassed, apologized so many times. And then you know, she's like, don't worry about it, you know. I explained that my keychains have started selling really well, so currently right now we're at the store, and I'm really sorry for letting you down, so can we do this again? So she was like, of course, you know. So we rescheduled, and then the second meeting, I was not sure. So twice I have scheduled a meeting with this woman, something that could have been good for my career, and I was a no-show both times. So yes, it's really embarrassing. Yes, I still get mad at myself up to now. So I know now, if we're discussing something and we've agreed on a date and time, literally I take up my phone, I set a reminder, and now I have a calendar as well. Like I like the artistic calendars, so I open up the month, wherever it is, and write it down, so at least I can't forget it. So that's something that I've learned. So, you know, just be on top of yourself, be as organized as you can be, yeah, and just set reminders or do whatever you can to make sure that you don't forget something that's really important, because you don't want to be like me in that case. So those are some of the things that I had learned on my journey of being an entrepreneur, and I just wanted to share a bit of advice now, you know, in case you're watching this and you've never done it before, you're thinking about doing it. So the first thing that I would like to advise strongly is, if you can, get a website. Now you might be watching this and you might be thinking, oh my god, I can't afford it, you know, I only have a small amount of money. I promise you, having a website is not actually expensive as you may think. So for example, with myself, I use Shopify, and I pay only, let's say, around the upside, let's say I pay £22 a month, and my domain I think was like £14. So every month, you know, I pay that small fee, and that's literally it, just to keep my website up. And then, you know, there's free templates that you can use, and then there's obviously some templates that are you know, and you can even hire a website designer on Shopify that can, you know, make your website look even better, or, you know, take on the creative side if you're not a creative person, if you want to leverage design. But yeah, so websites aren't really that expensive, literally just £20. There are more expensive fees monthly, but at the moment it's just myself, and sometimes I hire illustrators, but it's just myself, so that really works perfectly for me. Or on the other hand, you can go to GoDaddy or hire a web developer, and then you can get your own custom website. That will be more expensive, you know, so you can always start off small, and then you can, you know, save and save until one day you can get your own custom website. But websites really aren't as expensive as, you know, you may think. The reason why I say that is because you know, I like to speak to people, I like to network, I like to know what they're thinking, what, you know, I like to know as much as I can. So I have spoken to people, and they've said that if they have to DM someone to make a purchase, whether that's just a bank transfer or not, that really discourages them. So I obviously know we all start somewhere, so if that's how you start, that's amazing, but do consider in time getting a website. Another thing I'd like to advise as well is, if you do have your website, or if, you know, you're telling everyone to DM you to message to make the purchase, I would advise using more than one payment provider. So I am I am a fan of PayPal. I love PayPal. Like, literally, the reason why I love it, there's so many reasons why I love it, but I like PayPal because you know, I'm a lazy person. Yeah, I'm lazy. So if I'm gonna order something and, you know, they say, oh, go get your card, I'm not on my card, I'm just like, oh, that's just long. And then when I can see that I can pay by PayPal, I just straight away use PayPal. And it's also great because, you know, it's a safety blanket for you as the whichever one you are. So whether you're the client, the customer, or whether you're the business owner, it protects you on both ends as well, which is really good. It is key, it is really important to know that if you're first using PayPal as a business, when you start getting sales, they hold the money for a certain amount of time before they give it to you, which is very, very, very frustrating, but they just do it because, or their reason for doing it is that they need to build up trust with yourself. So I think you have to make 10 sales that run smoothly before, you know, the money just goes straight into your bank account. So after that, once you've reached that amount, then the money just flows into your account anyway. So if you're selling like expensive products, for example, if you're selling wigs, you know, I've seen that people make a lot of money on wigs. So, you know, I've seen that there can be like £400, for example, and sometimes, yeah, customers don't have, for myself as well, or would I really want to fork out 400 straight away? I don't think I would for a wig anyway. But, you know, who knows? I've seen some amazing wigs, so, you know, I might just see one, I'm like, okay, I want that, but I don't want to give £400 straight away. So there's different payment providers where you can split the payment. Sometimes they're interest free, or most of them probably are interest free, but it's nice to give the customer options. So for example, Amazon Pay as well. I know that people use Amazon Pay. I don't have that on my website. I have PayPal or their card option, but I found that, you know, that really works well, and who knows, in time I might add more, but yeah, so that's one thing, to have options, to give you customer options. That's the most important thing. Another thing that I've learned as well is it's really good to keep on track of the money that you spend and the money that you make. So I was speaking with an accountant and I'll be hiring her soon, which is amazing. But she's very, very helpful. That's why I'm really glad that I have her on my team. But yeah, so of course, she gave me some advice, and don't quote me on the number, but I think in the UK this goes to so if you you have to keep your receipts for up to 7 years. I think it's 7, it could be 5. And it's really important. So you know, if for example, what I do is I buy a batch of notebooks, so then I write on there how much I've spent, what day I spent it on, and what was it that I bought. And I like to keep it on Excel sheet. Now once I have the accountant, it'll be a lot easier, but that's one way that one thing that I can refer to see, you know, how much I've earned this month, how much I've spent this month, you know, and just to keep on track of the money side of things. The last thing I like to speak about as well and advise is get to networking. Networking is really important. I know now if you're like ourselves in England, we're still unfortunately in lockdown. So, you know, mixing with people face to face, you know, having great conversations. It's not as easy face to face, but it's still possible online. So, you know, get to networking, meet people that have done the same thing that you're doing, you know, introduce yourself, you know, just have like great conversations. I do want to speak about this t-shirt that I'm wearing. It's my money. It's by Patrina. I'll put her website somewhere. She's from the United States. She sent this beautiful top. She also sent it in red as well, and she also sent this this journal. It's called It's My Money. I actually haven't looked in here. I wanted to wait until okay. So she's a international speaker, award-winning author. Ooh, I'm trying to be like that too. And you know, she just helps you look after your money. So this is what she sent, a nice introduction. Oh, and it's got our social media handles as well, so I will add those on there. She sent her business card. Lovely. I do design business cards, so if you want any, we print and ship them out as well. Okay, there's some budget sheets. She's amazing. I'm so excited to have a look at these. What's this? Sorry, just a second. So yeah, okay. So this is an envelope of some sort. And then there's some more budget sheets, which is amazing, very useful and very helpful. And then also, let's see what else is in the book. Okay, I'm guessing loads of useful information. Oh, and some lines to write as well. So if you do want to check these out, I'll add her website. Please do support her. This does look amazing, so I can't wait to give it a try, and you know, hopefully you'll give it a try too. So yeah, that is a few things that I have learned on my journey and a bit of advice as well. So I truly hope that you found something useful in this video, and if I blabbered on too much, I apologize. I get nervous. So in time, you know, I'll record more of these videos and you'll be a lot better. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll leave some links down below, and I do have a Facebook group called Ambitious Entrepreneurs, Entrepreneurs and Creatives. So you're more than welcome to join that group. It's not really a promotion group, but on Sundays we do promo Sunday. But it's more about, you know, sharing useful information, us learning and encouraging each other. And I put some affirmations in there, you know, to get your mind right. And whatever I learn, I share in the group. Because I want to see everyone learn, but especially those in my group, I want to see them all. We're all going to be millionaires someday. But yeah, that's the goal. And do follow me on social media. I'll leave the link somewhere. And until next time, I'll see you and have a good day. Thanks.